It's an unbelievable, beautiful 1,400-hectare private island in the middle of the Mediterranean. We were on a friend's boat and we stopped for a swim. Effectively, that's how we found it.
The anger has built up for a long time. The inclusion of Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump is like the symbol that made it something that could not be bearable anymore.
In the beginning of the protest, the most important demand was the cancelling of the project. But now they want a new government, they want political change in general.
So there's the Sazan Island, and this bluff we're standing on is where there's supposed to be a huge hotel that's surrounded by 10,000 units of real estate that's going to transform this entire area if it happens. The podcast interview that Ivanka Trump gave came across as tone-deaf here in Albania, for sure. But it's raising eyebrows in America too, where ordinary people are experiencing some of the highest rates of inflation that they can remember, while members of the president's family are touting a luxury resort and coming across as more out of touch than ever.
She discovered the island, right?
Yeah.
That was very funny.
Said she discovered the Iceland, but the island belongs to us.
Blerjana Bino heads a think tank in Albania's capital, Tirana.
Ivanka Trump comes to Albania, has these private visits, meets privately with the Prime Minister and with architects. What is this project? What is the plan of the government? Who is this investor? We saw construction work there. That's why environmentalists protested and citizens protested. But there was no permission. There was no official documentation. For us, as citizens of Albania, this is an issue that has to do with this system, this political elite, and the lack of transparency and accountability that affects our daily lives.
The podcast appearance of Ivanka Trump was kind of just the straw that broke the camel's back.
The anger has built up for a long time. The inclusion of Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump is like the symbol that made it something that could not be bearable anymore. Citizens became very angry because the police did not react when this private security basically kidnapped this citizen. And this private security also threw tear gas towards the citizens. So the police basically stood there doing nothing. The area that was fenced with wire. There are also what are called natural monuments that by law are public properties and are not allowed to restrict access of public into them. And also the beach is public as well. You cannot restrict the access of public into it. But that's what they did for more than 1 month.
Well, do we know at least what Kushner has said about how much money the Saudis are going to bring to the project?
I'm not sure about the exact figures that I'm mentioning, but the Prime Minister has mentioned 4 billion euros and 10,000 new jobs to be created there. Again, this is only narrative. This is not backed up by due procedure about the project, about the impact on the environment, development permission, construction permissions. This is not public yet.
Can you tell me why this is being called the Flamingo Revolution?
So it's called the Flamingo Revolution because this is a natural protected area where the flamingos stay, but also migratory birds stay there for a certain period of time when they travel from the north to the south. It is the delta of Vjosa River. Vjosa River is considered the last wild river in Europe.
Albania's Prime Minister has said that if it wasn't for Jared Kushner's involvement, nobody would care about this issue. Is there a sense that Jared and Ivanka's involvement exemplifies the kind of global elites or even national elites that can get away with anything in this country? And is that why there's so much anger right now?
It has to do with how decisions are made in Albania and how an entire country is being treated like a private backyard that some people can do whatever they want. I think this is why it came from the margins to the mainstream and it was not possible to ignore anymore. I think the protesters are talking about the political elite in Albania, so the government, the prime minister, and the main political party in opposition. Also, if you hear their chant, they actually are directed to both of them. So they are directed to the political elite that has been running this country for 35 years now, and still we don't have Albania as Europe, as we dreamt when communism fell in 1991.
How did you feel when you heard Ivanka Trump say that she wants to make the island private?
That was a meme, actually. She discovered the island, right?
Yeah.
That was very funny and sad at the same time, if they reach their goal.
Why do you say that it's funny that she says that she discovered the island?
Well, because it came like she discovered the new land.
Like Christopher Columbus.
Like Christopher Columbus, exactly. Well, we have only one island.
Yeah.
And I'm a tour guide and I go into that island like 60 times per year.
Yeah.
I wanna go another 60 times more. We need it, it's ours. We don't want to sell it.
It's an unbelievable, beautiful 1,400 hectare private island in the middle of the Mediterranean. You know, it's not even a business for me, despite the scale of it.
You know, there's been tension in the crowd between people protesting and people holding American flags.
Yeah.
Because basically what we are against right now is this American investment, if that's what it is. But we are against the president's daughter and his son-in-law investing in our cause.
People here for a long time looked up to America. Do you think they still look up to America in the same way?
What Albanian people and most of European people love about America is their principles. So the land of the free and democracy. It is very sad to see the American government not stand up to that.
In the beginning of the protest, the most important demand was the canceling of the project. But now they want a new government, they want political change in general.
Would it be fair to say that Ivanka and Jared's project brought global attention to this situation and it could potentially lead to the downfall of the Prime Minister's government?
It might. In this moment, the Prime Minister is in a very difficult situation, mostly because most of the people who are coming to protest before his offices are people who almost never got involved into politics. With 20, 30 years old, they are most of the time indifferent to politics. And the others too are people who are not really connected to political parties. This is a part of the electorate of the voters who is very important in Albania. They're the swing voters. And this is the main concern, I think, of the Prime Minister. But this is different. I think he's much more scared from this kind of protests.
Is there a sense of outrage here that some of the richest people in the world, the son-in-law and the daughter of the President of the United States, came here to claim an island for themselves?
Albanians love America, and Albanians, of course, would love to see foreign investments in Albania, especially American. But it has a lot to do with the lack of transparency of the government and with the fact that people think that this investment probably is going to harm the environment.
We know who's behind Jared Kushner's company. It's the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Saudi Arabia. Which has invested or plans to invest over $1 billion into this project. Do you have a sense that there's some real corruption going on here?
Albania it's a very specific country, which means that if you see in Albania, all public bids are given to more or less a small group of companies connected to the government. And so people know that in order to do big business in Albania, you have to deal with the government. And this is a big problem because a lot of people are feeling excluded from the economic development in Albania. And there are a lot of people who are suffering from that. This is one of the poorest countries in Europe. And people have real problems here from the point of view of economic situations. So in the beginning, it was something that was mostly connected to the environment, to the lack of transparency and anything. But now it's much larger than that. There are people who are there because they think that their pensions are very low. There are people who are there because they can't find a good job. So there are many, many reasons. There is only one common thing. People are not happy with the government.
Do you think that this could actually result in Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump losing the project?
It might.
That would be quite the outcome.
Yeah.
That would send a strong message.
Yes, but for the Albanian citizens, what will change in terms of how we are governed, it's much more important than a simple project.
For now, the billion-dollar project continues as the White House claims the private business activities of Kushner and the president's daughter have nothing to do with the administration. That's no consolation for people like Joni Vorpsi. He's an ecologist with an environmental watchdog in Albania and showed me around the protected area.
It's a city, 10,000 rooms,
It's going to completely alter the face of this entire place.
Yep, so we don't talk anymore about negative effects on nature, it's wiping out nature.
And we're talking about the only island that Albania has.
Repeat that again. You're saying this is Albania's only island, and that's the one they want to make private?
Yes, exactly.
Albanians have always looked up to America as an example to follow. Are you disappointed that some high-profile Americans are involved in this?
Yes, so in a way yes, because when it comes to nature conservation, places to look up to, Yellowstone is a story that goes around even in the school, so it's something that we learn since we are kids. And now we have this investor connected to the president of the United States building here. It's quite disappointing. And meanwhile, Jared Kushner, it's living thousands of kilometers away from this catastrophe that it's about to happen here.